Paradigm work of 20th century architecture. The Villa Savoye rises in the center of a property, surrounded by a large grove. In this work, Le Corbusier exposes a set of terms that constitute his formal language, and to a certain extent, the formal language of modern architecture. At Villa Savoye, Le Corbusier exemplifies his ideal of the house as machine habiter, a machine for living. The house is functional like a machine, and beauty derives from that functionality, in such a way that the activities of daily life in it become fundamental to the compositional process. A parallelepiped forms the volumetric composition. It rests on a base, and seems to be suspended on a structure of reinforced concrete pilatus, arranged in an orthogonal grid, and at a continuous distance. A pure, rigid and sober volume that hangs in the air, it seems to be floating. By moving away from the ground, it shows us the triumph of man's geometry over nature.
Planning of Chandigarh. Le Corbusier finally made the plan of Chandigarh as we know it today. He developed further on the plan already given by Albert Mayer, but he changed the layout to be on a grid. Le Corbusier created sectors in his design. Each sector is a self-sufficient unit with residential areas, institutional areas, and commercial streets. Each sector also has its own green space around which all houses are designed. One interesting fact about each sector is its standard size. Each sector is 800 meter by 1200 meter. This was calculated such that any person could comfortably walk from one end of the sector to its center. Using his sector as a module, he then placed several of these modules to create the grid pattern. Now he also used his philosophies in design. He made the plan to resemble the human body functions. The first is the head. This is represented by the admin area, also known as the Capitol complex. The second is the heart. The heart of Chandigarh, which is also its city center, is Sector 17. The third are the lungs. Now there are a lot of green spaces in Chandigarh, but there is also an 8-kilometer long green space known as the Leisure Valley, which runs across the city. Popularly, this leisure valley represents the lungs. The valley in each sector is designed as a different themed garden.
Dominican convent located near Lyon, on a piece of land that slopes gently to the south. The ensemble seems to follow the order and plan originating from the Benedictine rule. The cloister merges with the land on which the cubic and gray building stands, supported by concrete screens as pilatus. The collective program runs on 2 levels, along the eastern, western, and southern sides. The refectory in the western side stands out. On the north flank, and slightly dilated from the rest of the complex, stands the church, in appearance, a hermetic volume of raw concrete, where light effects are used to create a dramatic atmosphere. Through skylights with surfaces internally covered in color, sun rays shoot into the interior, that break into the gloom of the sinuous crypt on the north side and the sacristy. The bell tower is only perceptible from the outside, a concrete frame mounted on 2 trapezoidal screens.
Thank you!